Namaskar, Sat Sri Akal,
Namaskar, sir.
and Salam Alaikum. Welcome to this podcast by the Academy of Family Physicians of India, International Relations and Collaboration Committee. My name is Dr. Kamlesh Bhargava, and I'll be the host with you today. And today I have with me Dr. Hemant Saluja, who's a family physician practicing in India, in Delhi. More details, you can read it in the description box. But without further ado, we will talk about his recent visit to a practice in Sri Lanka. Over to you, Dr. Hemant.
Thank you, Dr. Bhargava. It was indeed a very kind of you to have put me on this podcast. As a part of the learning process that I visited Colombo for the FRCGP exam and took the opportunity to actually visit one of the colleagues' clinics there, Dr. Sabit's clinic, called the CareTech clinic, and it was an educational experience that within the country and the resources that they have, it stood out like a oasis in the desert, and they're doing a great job. It is a holistic approach. How well they have used the calming pastel colors to soothe the patients that are waiting, how they manage their appointments so that the time of the patients is respected. The patients don't have to wait for hours or minutes. They walk in at their designated time and the doctor is ready. And it was heartwarming to see the way glitch-free coordination between the patients, the management, and the doctors. They have a minor procedure room. They had a pharmacy, and
How did you contact him as part of that? He was also an examiner for the FRCGP International South Asia.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Dr. Sabit was also an co-examiner. He joined recently, maybe a couple 2 years ago, as an examiner, and he has a polyclinic kind of a thing. There are more doctors than one. They come at various times with pre-defined timings and appointments, and they visit and carry on healthcare in a very, very holistic way.
So this CareTech, he is the owner, or is he just goes as one of the doctors?
Well, he is the owner as well as one of the healthcare providers.
So basically, he's an entrepreneur who has formed this clinic and is making the most of the space 24/7. How many doctors, nurses, etc., and things.
Yeah, it was as you said, it was great planning on his part, because it is a family property there, and Colombo by no means is cheap in real estate. I just gathered that it is really expensive, one of the expensive cities in South Asia.
So, Dr. Hemant, can you tell us more about his practice dynamics in terms of his schedule, patient volume, pacing? How many patients does he see every day?
Yeah, so he basically starts at 8 and 9 in the morning, and they go on till about 5 to 6 in the evening, and he visits only one clinic, that is his own clinic, and they have depending upon what is it a first appointment or is it a follow-up appointment, they have different time slots for different patients, and he does patient education in a group activity through electronic media, through conventional didactic lectures, and through answering questions. And there is a complete, it's an ecosystem, I would say. It's not a standalone clinic, it is an ecosystem in itself. The patient and its caregiver and his caregiving team they just form one big team with different parts aligning at different points in time as and when the need arises.
Okay, that's interesting. So does he work 7 days a week?
No, he works only 6 days a week.
6 days a week. And how many patients would he be seeing in a day? Working from 9 to 5?
I have no clue, actually.
What time did you visit his clinic?
So in order to not to disturb, we observed it during daytime, and then went into the clinic after in the after hours.
Okay.
And because everybody was busy, it was a busy clinic.
Mhm.
So maybe I should say about 20 to 30 patients in a day.
Okay. And he sees all kinds of patients.
Everything. They even do minor procedures, everything.
Right. And women's health and preventive
Pediatrics, women's
pediatrics,
health, yeah, everything.
pediatrics, everything. Okay. So now I know that you can you tell us about your practice briefly, and then what were the similarities between your practice and his, or what did you learn? Will come later on. What were the similarities?
Well, the similarities was the nature of spectrum of cases that we deal with. That is universally the same with all family practice practitioners, I guess, with minor differences of region. The similarity was I found was that we both appreciate and honor the patient's time. So we finish our consultations in the provision time, and we move on, and we have time for patient interaction to satisfy their queries and concerns, and there is a follow-up care. There is there's a nurse that explains in case anything remains unanswered. So other than that, of course, the conditions being the same, the treatment and management remains the same. So
Okay. So, did you at any point discuss what are the challenges he faces in running his family practice and this organization?
yeah, we did. In fact, we did. And initially, like any other business that is just starting, initially he had some challenges of how to go about, because it was a different concept of honoring patients' time. In conventionally in Sri Lanka, the patients' appointments are usually spill over into the next patient's time frame.
Oh,
And the waiting time is far too much, sometimes agonizing, sometimes frustrating. That is what I was given to understand. Some years ago, I also visited a big hospital, corporate hospital there, and realized that people were waiting in the waiting area, and the OPDs were running, but they were, I mean, far too many patients and time slots. So I do not know how they were going to manage that, but that was a couple of years ago. It was pre-COVID. But so he had again the same challenges of finance, same challenges of making it known, because it was a disruptor practice to an extent that it was a different style of practice.
mhm. Okay. So that's interesting. Um, what was, say, if I ask you one key aha moment, or you said, "Oh, he's doing this, and this is worth uh, implementing,"
As I
or
said, the uh, taste of the pudding lies in eating. So the color choice of his clinic, the interiors, the workflow, it was so soothing. It was the lighting. It was so calming that I think the healing starts from the moment you enter that place.
yeah, I think you said it rightly. The proof of the pudding is in eating it. I can just get a flavor. The way you are describing, you are an artist, and of course, you like the colors, the ambience. You see, like when you go to a temple or a mosque or a church, you get that feeling which you can't put it into words. So that's the kind you get that comfort. If it's too busy, a clinic, etc., and every children crying here, there, etc., and so you don't get that ambience. So am I right in interpreting it that way?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But even I don't think words can amply do justice to the experience. Really.
Okay. Now, coming to the last point, which is the most important one, what is the message would you like to give to members of the Academy of Family Physicians of India, the family physicians in India? This,
Well, Yeah.
This relationship between visiting a clinic in your own town, in different cities, or in different countries. What's your take on that?
So, Dr. Bhargava, as you said the other day, which that sometimes it is always helpful to go and see what is happening. It widens your horizon. It increases your uh, s- uh, understanding of things. And what I would say is that all doctors, no, why just doctors? All entrepreneurs, doctors are entrepreneurs in their own right once they start their own clinic.
Mhm.
So they should all learn from, not commit the same mistakes. They should all learn from clinics of colleagues, of some practitioners that are in and around their own city, maybe neighboring cities, maybe a different city that they visit, because no effort is ever wasted. Sometimes you learn what to do, and sometimes some days you learn what not to do. So it's equally important to learn what not to do than just to learn what to do.
Mhm. I like this phrase, what to do, what not to do, and learn from each other. That might be a tagline here for this podcast. What to do, okay.
Thank you.
What not to do. Uh, okay, thank you very much, Dr. Hemant, for giving
Thank
your
you, sir.
insights. And it was wonderful talking to you. And I hope
Pleasure was mine as well.
some people might take up this cue and visit other clinics. And then, most welcome, I'll be having a podcast with you too. Thank you. Dr. Hemant, you were talking in our preliminary talk that you have been doing this for several years. Can you tell us more about it?
Well, Dr. Bhargava, before you actually um, gave birth to the idea of IRCC, which is purely your brainchild, I think I've been, and many others, I'm sure, must also be visiting clinics like the ones I visited in all cities that I visit. Like Hyderabad, I visited Dr. Vikram's clinic. In Chennai, I had my friend's clinic. In Calcutta, I visited a clinic. And I may somehow in Jalandhar, I visited a clinic. So I've been doing that for by about 7 years, I think 7, 8 years. I'm not too sure when I started, but probably the desire to make things better, improve upon things, because quality is a ongoing process, as we all know it. It is a process of improvement, self improvement in all spheres, till you reach perfection, and perfection is something that keeps standards keep going up and up. So one, previously it was pen and paper, now then it was electronic medical records, then it was digital appointment systems. Now I use a for home visits, I use a camera pen with an electronically embedded circuit in the paper. So whatever I write, it gets, so things are evolving. So I learned that from somewhere, and I tried to apply to it. It was from one of the corporate hospitals that I learned that this kind of prescriptional behavior need not change, and you can actually continue to produce EMR even with conventional prescription writings.
Thank you very much for these insights. And I'm sure this podcast has led to many more questions, and I might make more and pick on your brains later on. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Always welcome, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So,
और अपना रास्ता तय करते, इसके पहिए जोर से चलते और अपना रास्ता तय करते, स्याने इससे काम निकाले, स्याने बच्चे समझें खेल